Oh wow, I was not expecting this. We recently got confirmation from the Doors developers regarding not only the theme of the next major Doors update, but also when it's going to be released. And surprisingly, it is not Floor 3. Alright, so what am I talking about? Well, recently today, as in the day I am writing the script for this video, the developers started just out of the blue interacting with the community and answering questions, an event which doesn't happen all that often. During this, though, they revealed some stuff about the next major update to the game, including not only what it's primarily going to focus on, but also some information about its time of release. In this video, I'm going to break down all of this new information to you guys, as well as give my own theories as to what could be in this update. We have got a lot to discuss today, so with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so I first want to go over the new messages we got from the developers. The first is this one, where the question of if Floor 3 will be added this year is still possible. Now, in case you don't remember, a while back the developers revealed that they were hoping to release Floor 3 this year, but now it's been decided that accomplishing that isn't too possible with the current limits of the game. This means that Floor 3 will likely come out in 2026, which may come as a disappointment to some, but with this announcement, something else very interesting was also revealed. Apparently, although not being the highly anticipated Floor 3 update, another update is on track to release later this year. For the longest time, it's been assumed that the next major update was going to be Floor 3, but seeing how that's been debunked, the question remains of what is this next update, which is coming relatively soon. And fortunately, we may have just gotten our answer. When the developers were still interacting with the community today, someone asked the question of when the room's Overhaul update will be released, and the developers responded with a gif of Shrek smiling. Now, something you should know is that this gif, and specifically this one, has been used constantly by the developers in the past to hint at upcoming features. Seeing this thing as a response basically means what you said is confirmed, or it will be coming soon. And given how it was used as a response for the question of when the room's update will occur, it can be inferred that the update will release soon. This paired with how the developers also said that the next update, which isn't Floor 3, is coming this year, means it's likely that the very next Doors update is going to be an overhaul of the room's subfloor. Well, this actually makes a lot of sense, given the lineup of updates planned to be added to the game. So far, all we know is that the next major updates will of course be Floor 3 and the room's Overhaul update. We also know that Floor 4 is going to come after Floor 3, and that each floor will likely receive its own subfloor similar in quality to the outdoors. But besides just the fact that those updates will eventually exist in the far, far future, there is zero information about them and development for them likely hasn't even started. This means that the next confirmed updates have to be Floor 3 or the room's Overhaul, and given how it was straight up confirmed to not be Floor 3 earlier, I think you can see why the room subfloor being updated this year is inevitable. However, now that we know that, what will actually be inside of this update in terms of new content? Well, throughout the past couple of months, we've gotten a few teasers of what this room's Overhaul update would include, and although you may have seen me talk about them before, I want to go more in depth into them in this specific video. For one, the developers have stated that in the Overhaul they want to blow the current rooms up with dynamite and replace it with something similar. This means that the current version of the subfloor we have in-game won't exist for too much longer, and in the rework, it'll likely receive a complete visual makeover. I'm talking about completely remodeled rooms and even more new rooms. Now, as you probably know, given how the room's subfloor is meant to reference the original Rooms game by Nico, its design is very stylistically different from the rest of the Doors game, a trait which will likely be changed to fit the style of the rest of Doors in the update. Now, besides just making the subfloor visually look like the rest of the game, which adds a sense of consistency and modernization, there is another reason as to why this change is necessary, which I can't really get into in this video. However, let's just say that it would be a lot better if doors separated themselves from the original rooms and Nico as much as possible. So how else could that be done besides a complete visual overhaul of the room designs? Well, it's likely some of the most iconic aspects of the subfloor, such as its name, as well as the room and entity naming schemes with the A's, would likely stay in place, as I don't think people would like it too much if they were changed. However, something I did find quite interesting is what may happen to the entities in the update. As you probably know, A90 is an entirely custom creation made for the door subfloor, so they most likely wouldn't be touched. A120, although being loosely based on A200 from the original Rooms game by Nico, has a vastly different design and functionality, so that may also not be changed. A60, on the other hand, just appears to be a straight port of A60 from the original Rooms into Doors, and that could be a problem given how, as I had said, it'd be better if Doors separated itself from the original Rooms game for a reason I won't disclose currently. Now, I don't think A60 should be entirely removed, given how iconic they are, but if I had to guess, they may receive a visual overhaul in this update to still resemble somewhat like their own design, but to be a unique creation for Doors. Moving on though, the developers also said they want to improve the process of getting A1000, as right now it is way too lengthy and sluggish, as you have to face the same 3 entities over and over for nearly 2 hours straight. This means in the update, it's possible some sort of feature would be implemented to speed up the process of getting A1000, such as the ability to move insanely quickly or just to teleport to rooms beyond you. As for what that feature is, I'm unsure, but I do know the issue of A1000 being boring will likely just be solved by adding more features to the floor, such as new entities you can periodically encounter during your journey. I will say though, that if an actual progression system is implemented into the rooms in this update, one where new content can be found beyond premature exits, it's possible said exits could actually be removed or replaced with something to incentivize players not to quit the subfloor early. But that's just speculation on my part. So, to summarize, although not 100% confirmed, it is heavily implied that the next Doors update, which will be coming out sometime this year, likely in a couple months, is going to be an overhaul to the room's subfloor. This overhaul will primarily focus on revamping the entire subfloor, likely giving it a complete stylistic revamp to fit in with the rest of the game, as well as more features which hopefully will make the process of getting A1000 feel less time-consuming and boring. As for the more speculative side of things though, I feel a visual overhaul of A60 as well as some sort of fast travel feature may be implemented in order to separate the game from the original rooms made by Nico and to speed up getting to A1000 respectively. Anyways, with all of that being said, let me know in the comments what you think of all of this, as well as what your own theories are for new additions that may be coming to the subfloor. And thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.